And welcome back on this beautiful Wednesday morning. This is Open Your Eyes, and we're about to venture off into our first segment for the morning, talking about the Institute of Creative Arts and Arts for Development. Now, in with us to tell us more is Kim Vasquez, who is the Youth Development Officer at ICA. I got it correctly. Mm-hmm. Yes. And Barbara Eligio, Expressive Arts Teacher. Good morning. It's nice to have you in, and welcome.
Nice to be here, thanks.
Yes. So, the summer is here, and when we talk about Institute of Creative Arts, we think creativity, we think dance, we think acting, we think everything that has to get you well-rounded when it comes to acting and all these things. So let's jump on into it. What do we have planned for the summer? It's upon us.
Well, right now we have going on our Creative Arts Camp at the Belize Center. This is an annual event for us. Mm-hmm. And as you know, in recent years, we've added a preschool section, or a 3 to 6 section in the morning. And then in the afternoon is 7 to 12, ages 7 to 12. Okay. So in the mornings right now, we have, I think, 53 children between the ages of 3 to 6.
Oh.
Yes, and they are. Yes, and at that age, they are in their camp. They get a little bit of everything. They do arts and craft, they do music, they do drama, and they do dance.
So this is the third year for having them, the preschool, the 3 to 6.
It's actually, I think, the 4th year.
The 4th year.
Yes.
So what I would like to know is that, because you know, one of the things that we must understand as parents is that whenever we engage our children into things, it becomes them. It's who they are. Yes. What they see is what they learn. How has it been for you on year 4?
It is a learning process for us, definitely. I think we are one of the few programs. I know there's a lot of summer activities happening, but I think we are one of the few programs that caters to that very young age within the expressive arts. And I must say first and foremost that we cannot do it unless we have early childhood teachers on board with us. We have 2 artist facilitators with us. Sometimes artist facilitators are assisting the camp, but we definitely rely on an expressive arts teacher. We have an early childhood teacher like Teacher Barbara, somebody that is rounded in the expressive arts. We also have Teacher Tanya Broster as well, who is a teacher, but is also an expressive arts teacher, and both Teacher Barbara and Teacher Tanya have gone through an expressive arts teacher program at the Institute of Creative Arts.
Nice. Now, you know, it's more than just keeping the kids engaged for the summer, because ideally what you want to do is give them a taste of the arts very early. What's it like when you see the children come in and perhaps start to build an affinity towards one of the arts? Do you see it as early as 3, 4?
Yes, we do. Yes.
Yeah. Tell me some of your experiences.
Yes.
we had this little girl. She was about 4 years old. And we wanted someone to do the story, right? Because then they will act out the story. They will dramatize the story. And we said, who will we get to do this story? And so we look around as they come in. We keep on looking at them to see who will be the most outgoing person. And she was the most outgoing person. She was able to talk and memorize things easily. And once they could memorize, that's the person that you want. You want the person that can memorize, so that when they do the story, they are able to say the story and then give a little twist to it as they go along, you know? So that was beautiful.
And I'd imagine doing things like drama at that age too also helps with their confidence.
Yes. That's the goal. That's the goal with the morning camp. We're looking at things like language development. We're looking at hand and eye coordination, fine motor skills. And for me, the thing that stands out is looking at the areas of strengths, even at that age. I can't pinpoint a specific child, but every year I will notice that some children will do better at arts and craft, and the dancing and the all of the acting on stage will not be their strength.
Yeah.
And vice versa. You will find that the ones that don't want to be sitting there doing the little detail finger painting and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but they light up when it's time to dance.
Yeah.
And I think even as a parent, we need to remember that every child has their strength.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We're not going to excel in everything, but the important thing is to try.
And I love the way you put that. The important thing is to try, and parents are supposed to understand this. But one of the things I wanted to touch on is the importance of early childhood education. There's still parents out there who are traditional and would tell you, you know what, my picnic not going no way because he or she is not 4 or 5 as yet. How important have you guys, and you know, being that you're there, especially Teacher Barb, how important is early childhood education to development, mental development of these children?
Well, I would always tell parents, if you want a good foundation, you start early. Because the earlier you catch them, the easier for them to be able to go with that flow within the education realm. Because sometimes parents will say, oh man, teacher, she's just 3. I would want to wait until she gets 4 or 5, you know. I said, but if you wait until she is 4, she will be behind. Because then we have a 3-year-old class and we have a 4-year-old class. If you bring them to school at 3, they will be introduced to the different socialization that you will need within the 4-year-old class when you enter the second level of preschool. You know, and then at the 4-year-old class, then you introduce them to the letter, both letters, capital and small letters, we call it, capital and small, and then you introduce them to words. You see? So when they do not come to the 3-year-old class, they're behind the 4-year-old class. So it's important for them to start school early, especially those who are with disability, you know, those with disability, because some parents will say, my child cannot speak, teacher. You don't know to use the bathroom. But the more they come, the more they see, the more they hear, you see, then it's easier for them to.
And children learn so much through the interactions and the play.
That is very important. Actually, many parents since we've added the morning camp, have told us that they look forward to it because sometimes this is a way for the ones that will just be starting school in September to get that socialization experience, and it makes a big difference for them. It eases them into the new school year.
Do we ask for parents to stay, especially for these 3-year-old, 4-year-old children? Do we ask for the parents to wait around for them in the morning?
We prefer that they do not.
Why is this?
Because they tend to cling to their parents.
Yes, and again, that's it. That's like defeating the purpose of what we're trying to do. That social interact and a little bit of independence, just that little bit is important for them. And we do find that, especially when it's on the children react different ways when they know their parents are in the audience. You know, during preschool festival of arts, sometimes Mr. Green will have to say, parents, please no hail till they don't perform because you they holler Johnny, Johnny.
Oh, that's hard.
And that's
Come
the end
on.
of
And
the
then they will be
performance
wailing.
right there. Right. Once Johnny sings, and then they wave at you, and then they start to do all kind of antics.
So we totally understand.
Now that's only one of the programs that you're doing.
Definitely.
And I think it's what we pointed out in terms of getting children engaged in positive activities so early, rather than having the TV babysitter at home. Can really do wonders. But I also wanted to touch on your camp at Wagner's facility. Is this the first time that you're doing this?
We've partnered with Princess Royal Youth Hostel before. Actually, Teacher Barbara was there last year. It's not the first year that ICA has partnered, but we definitely want to make it long term. That is our goal. So we had a discussion with Miss Sandra to see what we could do to keep the expressive arts as part of the program there, and she had cited that the work that Teacher Barbara did, which I came up with a name for it. We call it culture immersion, because she's not only doing dance and music, she's also immersing them in culture
Yeah.
so that everything they do, they understand the history behind it, the reason behind it. It even incorporates cooking,
Yes.
which I thought was, yes, they
And spirituality.
made, right, and
Yes.
spirituality, right?
But you know, the thought of doing expressive arts at the youth hostel, and a lot of people might not know, but for the youth hostel, that's where, you know, folks might say, and I hope I'm not using the wrong words here, but would say troubled youths. You know, how long have we been doing this, and what are we seeing in working along with these young people?
Well, when I started there, the youths were very troubled, indeed, very troubled. And Miss Mack, she said, teacher, we need you to do something. We need you to do a miracle here,
Yeah.
you know, because these youths, they need something that they could hold on to. And I said, well, you have the right person. So what I did with them, I work with them physically. So when I do my lessons, I would do it physically. I will have them do it rather than me talking. So if I'm teaching about the Garifuna history, what I would do, I would have them come in like the Euromaid, and then we do the different stations, and then at the stations, they look at what is there, and then they tell me what is there. And then I get their opinion, and then after that, I give them mine. That way, you are listening to me, and I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
Because they need somebody to listen to them. And that is the problem. We don't listen. You know, these youths are calling out for somebody to listen,
Yeah.
or just hear them out, or just see them do their whatsoever they want to do, you know, and said, yes, it is good. But then you say it is good, but you can do it this way, or why don't you do it this way?
Yeah.
And these children in institutions, they have a voice and they have a very unique story as well. How have you found it in terms of being an outlet for them to express perhaps their own struggles or challenges that they've gone through?
Well, I would have them do dramatization, you know. If I see they're ruffling or something, I would say, okay, that happened in the Garifuna culture. You know, why don't we act it out? You know, let them take out what their anger or their frustration, and let them dramatize the part that has the most heroic area. You know, like Chatoué. Chatoué had to go and fight the Englishmen. So let's try and do that, and that way you could see them
Parallel.
seeing what could happen if you do it in a positive way, and what could happen if you do it in a negative way.
What has the experience been like for you?
It has been a little bit rough. At the beginning it was rough because some of them tend to not listen, but then when we got a relationship, they keep, as I reach by the gate, they're hollering from their dorms, Teacher Barbara, Teacher Barbara, Teacher Barbara, because they had so much fun. They sent a bouquet.
Yes, they did.
To Bliss.
And I'm so excited to hear when she was doing these type of interaction with them.
Yeah.
I know both of our camps, we work towards a showcase, a recital. And this year, Teacher Barbara has selected Belize for them to
Belize,
reenact
yes.
them.
Yes.
And again, she's trying for them to see a parallel with their present situation, being residents there at that facility, and a parallel to what the Garinago experienced there. A very desolate period in their history. So I think that's really profound. In the other camp, again, we decided since last year when we did our Anansi theme, and we showed the fusion of the African culture into both the Garifuna culture and the Creole culture, we decided to keep our showcase going forward culture-based as much as possible. And so this year we are focusing on the Creole history. Everything is based around mahogany camps and slavery. Even at the 3 to 6 camp, the poems that they're learning has to do with the old Belize River, for example. And just introducing those old Belize folk songs as well. And many people don't realize that some of those, the roots of some of those songs were pain, right?
Yeah.
Things that we take for granted, like Can't Walk to My Plantation and those things there. Amegana, my riverbank, right? So again, it's introducing culture at a very young age to children.
Which actually gives them that acceptance, especially while growing up, and you hear these songs over and over. You tend to, it builds on that patriotism over you. But you know, we're so glad that there is actually an avenue for these children to learn expressive arts and express how they feel. We know that after, well, I think my daughter was there last year. I'm sure that then, following or at the end of the camp, there is this big showcase. So tell us about that. Let's jump on into that. Tell us about it.
Well, this year we are hoping to have a combined performance.
Yeah.
We are hoping that the camp from Princess Royal Youth Hostel can join us.
Gosh.
And so we will have 2 little shows with a little intermission in between. And yes, we are working towards that, and sometimes as teachers and as coordinators, we have to remind ourselves, these are children. This is not Broadway. We are getting ahead of ourselves, but you know, we are so excited. Yesterday we were working on the costumes, and we're trying to give them an authentic look of what, because many people, when they associate the Creole costume, they're thinking of what the modern Creole costume with the white skirt and the flowers.
Yes, the Lila
But that is not what you will see. You will see something more to that time period in history.
Nice.
And so we're trying to give them that little River Valley, very humble look. And again, we're trying to string everything together into a storyline as best as we can, because again, they're learning individual pieces, right? And again, we have to respect the fact that, you know, they're between the ages of 3 up until 12. So we just build the pieces around the theme. And for example, the preschool in the morning, they are doing a storytelling, a pantomime, and a dramatized poem. And then we will just put the legs on this to create a storyline.
All right, so that's one of the activities that's ongoing. Do you have other summer programs scheduled as well?
Definitely. We have more programs rolling out. Right. As soon as this camp is done, the recital is the 27th. Week we begin with some programs for older youths. We have a summer dance intensive, and these are for 13 to 18. And we also have a youth choir. And we're so excited about both of these programs. We have 2 young facilitators, Chriselle Gabriel and Jalen Craig, who will be facilitating the dance intensive. And it's, again, they are very young dancers themselves, so that adds a dynamic quality to the program, to be working with other youths. And again, that program is open to boys and girls, because it's not only for girls, right? I can guarantee you that boys who sign up for that dance program will not be disappointed.
Nice,
And then the youth choir, again, please don't think that this will be the choir that we're used to seeing. We're so excited to be building this program. We're going to put a dramatic twist to choir and liven up the choir experience. So any child that loves to sing, 13 and up, please get in touch with us at the Bliss if you know a child that would like to be a part of this initiative for the formation of the youth choir.
You said the age group is 13 and up?
13 and up, yes, right? We also have crochet coming up, and we decided, because when I first started talking about it, some lady said, I would like to do crochet, Miss Kim, and I said, okay, we will put a 5 o'clock class as well for the mommies, right? But we have a really nice crochet program coming up for 2 weeks as well. That starts the 29th. We also have ongoing right now, we have the pedagogical training for artists. That is an adult program that we do.
And what does that do? What is that class about?
That is that is an adult program. It starts in the evening, and it is for artists that have content that need pedagogy, artists that want to teach. And so that's giving them their classroom training, teaching them classroom management, how to prepare lesson plans, how to evaluate students, very important, and it's a total game changer for everybody that has
Yes,
gone through it. Teacher
it
Barbara,
was
even
for
though she's an
me.
experienced teacher, she did go through that program
Yeah.
as
Okay.
well. So teachers take it and artists take it.
But you did say that that it's ongoing, so
Yes.
do we have a lot of people in it?
We have
what's
the
engagement?
biggest intake this year. We have 13 participants in that evening program, and they're working towards their certificate in
Yeah.
pedagogy, right,
Yeah.
and towards a special license.
Why is
Skills
this
license.
important, Barbara?
It's important because many times we have programs to do and we can't do the lesson plan because you need a unit plan when you do these programs.
Yeah.
You know, so to prepare properly, you learn, if you do this program, you will learn how to prepare for your programs.
So you
So
could
it's
take
very
something like
important.
cooking and then be able to create a
Yes, lesson plan
cultural
or a
cooking.
unit
A lot
plan
of artists have wealth of
to it.
knowledge and years of experience,
Yeah.
and they want to teach. And then when they get to work, especially when you're working with children and youth, and then they don't understand why they don't get headway, why they're so frustrated,
Yeah.
why the children don't listen to me, you know? Why do I have issues in evaluating the progress they are making,
Yeah.
and why do I see so many setbacks? And then they come and then they get the structured approach, they get the method to work with and teach
Yeah.
children.
So then if you have any skill, if you do this class, you'd be able to teach it. If
Yes.
it's candle making, jewelry
Right.
making.
and then
Right.
you will be able to go in different schools to teach it because you will get the license.
Yes.
You will
And
have
then
your
what-
you
special
get ministry
skill
education
license.
license.
They
Yes,
work
a
towards
special
that in
skill
we
license for
work
teachers.
towards that in collaboration with TEDS, yes. And what's I think dynamic about that program as well is that we have all different types of artists in there. We have this year we have a fashion designer, we have a high school teacher in there, we have dancers in there, we have drummers. And because it is not just focused on one discipline, they usually find when they go through that program that they learn a lot about other areas of the arts
Yeah.
while they're in the program.
Wow.
And believe me, doing lesson plan for teaching in school is different. It's different. Both of them are different.
Yeah. And just
I
because
had to learn that.
yeah. And I think often people think because you know the skill that you can teach
Yes,
it, but it
yes.
really is very
Big
different.
misconception.
You
It is a
can teach
big
it, but it's
miscon-
hard to put on paper.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
Wow.
Okay. So it's lovely to hear that you have taken that on because it gives any artist who wants to share their talent
Yes.
or their artistic
Yes.
knowledge an opportunity to
Yeah.
do so, especially within the schools as well.
And we put this in our summer arts program again, as because I said it's not a direct program
Yeah.
for children and youths, but it is helping those that want to work with children and youths.
Yeah.
So it's still indirectly impacting the children and the youths that the SAI program usually caters to.
And so you said that it's also in conjunction with the Ministry of Education, so it does qualify as one of the training programs for the summer?
It's not
Not
under their
really.
summer training
No.
program. It is
Okay.
a separate thing. It runs for actually 6 weeks, so
Oh.
it's
Okay.
it's not a short program. It's a course.
Yeah.
It's a 6 weeks course.
Okay. All right. And what else is happening that we need to know about?
We have the National Youth Orchestra and Choir. Also, they will be starting. Yes,
Wow.
A lot of
lots
stuff
of
going
things
on, lots of
happening.
things.
We
Yeah.
have the National Youth Orchestra. They will be doing their music camp. Normally, they start right after the other expressive arts camp is finished. And like I said, in the afternoon, we do recorder. In the 7 to 12 camp, we do choir as well. We do voice. And so the opportunity is there to continue into the other camp. That is a camp again from the ages of 6 to 18.
Okay.
And this year we are partnered with Gateway Youth Center for that camp. That music camp will be located there at Gateway, and the registration and everything is being done there at Gateway. And you get percussion, violin, trumpet, wind and strings, and even steel pan this year.
What?
Yes, from ages 6 to 18.
What do they have to do to register?
They just need to pick up the phone or just need to visit Gateway Youth Center and
Yeah.
do the registration process, and that's it.
What's the cost of these programs that we've talked about?
I charge just a small fee for the camp that we do at the Belize, mainly because of costumes. We
Okay.
are working towards actual stage production from the inception, from the early days of when we did the camp. Even though we've changed the format of the summer showcase, we've always worked towards a recital. So that's what that fee is for, but
Okay.
the materials and everything are all subsidized by niche. No child has to bring even a pack of crayons or anything.
Okay.
Everything
right?
is taken
Everything
care of.
is provided, right? The music camp is free of cost.
So is it limited spacing? I mean, is it
Yes,
important?
there
for-
is.
Okay.
Yes, so if you're listening,
Because when you say
don't
free, it makes
actually
it a lot
even
harder.
our camp. Every year we say we will be modest.
Yeah.
We have our teacher meeting. We say we will just take 35 children. You know, we'll have a small group,
Yeah.
and inevitably, parents wait until the last minute to come and register, and then sometimes, like our camp, both the morning and afternoon is filled to capacity.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
That's
you went
good.
from 30 to 50. I don't miss that much. That's almost
Yes.
double.
Last year we
Right?
had more.
Yeah.
And we are, I must say, we are so grateful for volunteers. We have volunteers, student volunteers, high school volunteers
Yeah.
helping with us. That's so important. And they themselves are learning a lot.
Of course.
It's a wonderful
Yeah.
experience to be there working in the camp. And working with the children is so much fun, honestly.
It is.
Teaching is
Exactly.
learning.
Yes.
And I think it's a great way for the students to build credit hours. You know, it's a great way for them. Reason being is because you're actually teaching what you've learned. And in doing something on a daily basis, it remains with you. So that's a great way for...
Yes, this year in the camp we also have a UB student as well, an education student, and I think this is a wonderful idea. It's something that we probably want to continue in the future, giving one of the students an opportunity to come and intern.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Even though they will do their internship again, but again, it's more experience for them.
All right.
So there still is time for people to sign up for some of these camps. You got
Yes. We still have time to sign up. We have the music camp coming up.
The
we
dance.
have dance.
the crochet.
I think yesterday we added an online program with Kelly Cadogan. As you all know, we have a long history of working with Kelly. They do vocal training and stage. See, that's the other component, right? And that's what Kelly Cadogan is able to do for artists, is to help them. And she's doing a program that we are sponsoring, because we have, in addition to the programs that we house at the Institute of Creative Arts, we also provide funding to programs in the districts.
Okay.
In Dangriga, for example, we have 2 programs that we sponsored this year, one in visual art and one in music, for example. So we have one in the Southside Music Program that we're sponsoring a vocal training online, and she's doing this via Skype, working with the children from 7 to I think about 12, their ages, and
that's
it's
cool.
going really well.
Yeah.
So that opens up a whole area, and we want people to see this as well, that you know, the possibilities of working with others for summer camps in different countries as well.
That's
so
nice.
she's going to do an adult program as well. So she has that we have that master class coming up as well for adults that sing and perform on stage.
I want to sing and perform.
And who knows, these same children that we're training might be on your show this summer.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah, sure. We do hope they come for Summerfest.
That's true.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
looking forward to it.
No, it's. I think it's important, and we're starting off. I think looking at the youngest age, 3 to 6, you said.
Yeah.
And showing one that they have the capacity, and you can start building that talent from so
Yes.
young. We look with such admiration at the videos coming from other countries of a 5-year-old rocking a stage.
Yes.
And I know we have kids
We do.
like
We've
that
got the
in
talent.
Belize.
We do.
We just got to give them that stage.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
So your showcase, is it open to the public as well? If people want to see the kids'
It's
talent.
100% open to the public.
Yeah.
It will be the 27th at the Bliss at 6 p.m.
27
Is it a free
July.
show?
It has a cost for the tickets are 15 for adults.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's prime entertainment. I was there last year, so I saw exactly what happened. Yes.
Beautiful.
All right. And where do people get in touch to be able to sign up for the different programs?
You can drop right in at the Bliss Center. There, the forms are right by the security desk, or you can just pick up the phone and call us, and we will be happy to get one to you by email or WhatsApp or whatever is most convenient for you. Don't wait, because they fill up quickly.
Yeah.
So if if you have a teenager, like I said, most of the programs coming up now as we move towards August is for older youths, except the music camp, which is for ages 6 and upward.
All right.
All All right. Well, ladies, thanks for coming in
Thank
and
you.
letting us know what's happening at the Bliss. And of course, keep up the great work that you're doing with your other partner institutions. And we hope people are hearing, yes, these programs are free, but they're limited space. So do get in touch now if you want to get your child signed up for one of the upcoming programs.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll be joined by representatives of the Ministry of Health. So stay tuned.